started here. Just one little bit of administration here for everyone to receive your PDR credits. I'm going to post the link once again for a Google form. If you would just click on that link and fill out your first and last name and your PGID number, we will get credits for you that way. With that, I'm going to throw it over to Billy Dillon. Billy is our education chair for the Palmetto chapter, serves on our education committee, is really our liaison for setting this up. Is relatively new to the section, started here several years ago at Jamestown Golf Course, has been up north as the program director for University of Maryland Eastern Shores PGM program, but is back down in the section in Columbia at Clyburn Academy there. So with that, I'll throw it over to Billy. Thanks for everything you did to set this up today.
Yeah, you're quite welcome. Hey, everybody. Thank you for jumping on today. We appreciate it. I know Monday afternoon can sometimes be tough, but anyway. So I met John about 3 years ago, summer of 2020, while I was a director at the PGA Golf Management Program at UMES. And he was interested in diversifying his workforce. And the one thing I can tell you, John's going to do his own bio. That's why I'm not really doing a bio on him. But he reached out to me. He was interested in diversifying his workforce. And all I can tell you really is John has over the years interviewed many PGA professionals, hired us, and he knows our strengths and weaknesses. And that's why I felt this was an important topic for him to be talking about. I'd just like everybody to hear from an owner's point of view and a CEO's point of view, who has numerous golf courses. He'll get into all that. But I just thought this was a very interesting topic. It's always interested me, and I hope it interests you too. So with that, I'll kick it over to John, I guess.
Mute. Sorry. Thanks. I was on mute there for a second. It's good. A private club perspective and a public golf course perspective on how we really can take advantage of what our opportunity is today, which is immense. And I'll talk about the background around where we are as a business and an industry and where we're headed. And there are some things that all of us are in a really good position moving forward. And that provides new opportunity. And really how my company, Great Life Golf, is tackling those opportunities will be the main discussion points on today's presentation, which we title Big Data. If we have some time at the end of the presentation, I'll actually give you ability standpoint. There are three things that a private club or a public golf course can do, and I think they're important areas that I'd like to just share. Whether you're a standalone club or you have multiple clubs, they can really help your business as well. So all right, should be up. Hopefully everybody can see that. Starting with my bio here. So my name's John Brown. I grew up in a PGA family. My uncle, my cousin, my stepmother, my father were all PGA members. My father and my uncle are both master PGA professionals, so been around the industry my entire life. Started working at golf courses at the age of 13, probably like a lot of you, I would imagine. Played 4 years of collegiate golf, 1 at Hofstra, 3 at Westchester University. Sorry about that. Graduated with a finance degree from Westchester University, which is just outside of Pennsylvania. I actually spent 2 years in banking, worked with Wells Fargo as a consumer loan underwriter. When I saw a job posted at a private golf course in Delaware that was operated by Troon Golf, it was called the Peninsula Golf and Country Club. It was an 18-hole private signature Jack Nicklaus course. Applied for a position down there as the membership director, and that really kick-started my career in golf management. My father and I had the opportunity to start our own company, which was named Brown Golf. And January 2011, we opened up Brown Golf. We had 0 clubs. We had a business plan. And by the end of the day, I was kind of bored, and I said to myself, I hope this works out. We didn't have much to do other than just source some properties at that point. Luckily, the company grew from there. I actually bought my father out in July of 2017 and became the president of what was Brown Golf Management. Created a company called Golfback in 2020 with a few of my key employees in Brown Golf and a few of my Brown Golf partners, which I'll talk about. And then last year, September of 22, we merged Brown Golf, which was 25 courses, with a company called Great Life Golf and Fitness, which was 27 courses, to become what we are now today, which is Great Life Golf. And I'm the president of Great Life Golf. Just as of last month, I actually did the opening keynote at the Golf Inc. conference with Jay Karen, who's the president of the NGCOA, and then Don Rea. I don't know if many of you have ever met or bumped into Don, but he's a ball of energy and the vice president of the PGA of America, great guy. And I think you're in great hands under his leadership moving forward. That's just a little bit about my bio. Our presentation today, the goal is to introduce the two companies and the foundation and the thought process behind our two companies. I have some great data from the National Golf Foundation, both national data and some specific North Carolina and South Carolina data trends, which I'll go over. Really what we're here today is to talk about how we build the idea of this overall data, revenue optimization, automated marketing, and branding machine for golf courses moving forward. And this applies to private clubs, resorts, municipalities, public golf courses, semi-private. The idea of building a machine that can talk to our customers is extremely important moving forward. And then if we have time, I'll talk to you about a few additional items as it relates to our business, some Great Life Golf initiatives that have really presented some great profits for our company. And hopefully we'll have some time for that, but I'll touch base on that as well. So let's just kind of dive right into the two companies to start with. There's two companies, Great Life Golf. Great Life Golf formed out of the merger of Brown Golf and Great Life Golf and Fitness. We have a total of 52 locations, 56 golf courses. We're in 9 states. We do have a strong presence in North Carolina and South Carolina, which I'll touch base on here in a second. Our main business is we acquire golf properties, we lease golf properties, and we third-party manage golf properties. Within our portfolio of clubs, we have about a third that are owned, a third that are leased, and a third that are third-party managed. Brown Golf at its roots started as a company that had venture capital funding, and we would go out, find golf courses. We would purchase the golf courses, and that would set our long-term lease rates. Just because of the nature of that company, we became very wired to understanding how our decisions impacted the bottom line and the cash flow for golf courses. So we're very much focused on making the right long-term decisions for our properties and how that'll translate into profits and longevity and being able to self-sustain and reinvest capital. We operate 4 distinct brands, a signature brand, a premier brand, a classic, and a destination brand. I'll touch base on those quickly. My guess is that all of your clubs will probably slot into one of these types of brands. So we've got an array of different facilities, which I'll touch base on. Golfback is a marketing and revenue generation system that was built as an internal solution to Brown Golf. So I got to the point that I was fed up at some of the market options for the marketing systems, the point of sale systems, and the relationships you had to agree to and the pricing you had to agree to in the open market. And so we actually built an internal solution, which we called Golfback, which is giving traded barter tee times back to the golf courses. And it's really 4 key tools, which is the first one's an online booking engine. The second one's an email tool. The third one's a customer relation management tool. And the fourth is your golf course website. And currently Golfback has works with 100 client courses. 35 of those are Great Life courses, and the balance are courses outside of Great Life. And we'll talk about Golfback because it's really the root of the foundation. I think is important for all golf courses to think about moving forward. Our course portfolio, there's an idea where the map is. Most of the properties in the Midwest were Great Life Golf and Fitness properties. Most of the properties along the East Coast were Brown Golf properties. And then obviously we merged September of last year. Now we're to our current size. And I think 56 18-hole equivalent golf courses, we're about the 9th largest. We're listed right here. So Carolina National is a 27-hole property down outside of Wilmington, North Carolina. I won't go through and list out all these, but you get an idea of the different properties that we have in North Carolina and South Carolina. North Carolina is near and dear to me. Carolina National's the first golf course that I actually purchased, where we own the dirt, and we're about to purchase Sapona Golf Club as well. So we'll have a couple of properties that we own in North Carolina. So I have a strong allegiance to North Carolina in general. So it's great to be here talking with everybody. But that's just a little look at our portfolio of clubs. Our offices, where I'm sitting today, is 52 Gettysburg Pike, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, which is just outside of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So that's our first office. Our second office, we have a smaller satellite office located at Canyon Farms Golf Club, which is a signature private course in Kansas City, Missouri, just outside of Kansas City, Missouri. So we've got a satellite office at Canyon Farms. Our main office is in Pennsylvania. And our brands, which I imagine all of your clubs will slot into one of these brands. Our signature brands are really our luxury brands. They're our high-end private clubs. They have extensive staffing models, initiation fees, higher monthly dues. We offer full reciprocal program access for our properties. They have the full amenity package, and really they're spending, much higher thresholds of capital CapEx spending. That's our signature brand. Our premier brand, these are really what we call our experience brands. So our semi-private or daily fee properties, moderate staffing models. The food and beverage is really there to support the golf experience, not necessarily be a standalone business. And usually we're not charging initiation fees, and we have lower monthly dues for our membership options. And our daily fee golf will run $40 to $95 on these types of properties. Then we have our classic brands, which is really, we call them pure golfer enjoyment brands. These are, more daily fee focused, annual passes, smaller staffing structure, much smaller F&B footprints. Our courses are using automation as part of the check-in process. Daily fee golf is really, for the most part, under $50 at these facilities. Think about municipal golf. Think about, six-pack golf. This is what our classic brand is here. And then we have some destination brands that are located in destination golf markets. Hilton Head's one of them. Branson, Missouri is one of them. Lake of the Ozarks is one of them. Orlando is one of them. These are highly golf focused. There's typically a lodging component. Food and beverage supports a golf vacation experience in these models. And we do focus on daily fee as well. And the staffing models can vary, but those are our four brands. My guess is, your properties probably fit into one of these four brands for the most part, as far as how they might operate day in, day out. All the brands are similar in the sense that you still need to build a data machine, which we'll talk about. So the MCOR Conference 2023, that's the Multi-Course Operators Conference. They do it every year in July for, I think they have it limited to anyone who has 4 properties or more. The National Golf Association, National Golf Course Owners Association puts this event on. So Greg Nathan, who's the CEO of the National Golf Foundation, which really is the data company in the golf space, presenting golfer data to all of us, gave a great presentation while he was there. And these are some of the highlights. Now, rounds through May were up 5.5%, which they were building from being up 14% in 20 and 5% in 2021. So we continue to see rounds going up, which is great. Rounds up 11% over the 10-year average in 2022, another good sign. On-course golfers are up 500,000 players this past year. We added 1 million new golfers over the past 3 years, all great information. There's over 40 million people that are participating in green grass golf and off-course golf. Off-course golf is a market that's exploding, and it's a market that's good for all of us. About 15 million, and I think that I touched base on that. Yeah, touch base on that good. Next, 2022, we had 15.5 million people that played off-course golf, which is golf simulators, Top Tracer, the putting courses that you see. 15 million people playing and socializing in golf-oriented establishments that didn't exist, 10 years ago. That's up from 5.5 million just in 2014. So you can see the growth there. And one of the big keys to that is the average age of those off-course market golfers is 31, where the on-course golfer, which we have 25 million of those, are 46. So you can see this pipeline that's being created by this off-course golf market that didn't exist 15 years ago. 10% of current green grass golfers credit off-course experience with getting them on the golf course. That's 2.5 million people, which is just a tremendous number. In 1988, the average number of rounds per 18 holes of golf was 40,000 rounds. We're approaching that number again for the first time since 88. We are getting close to that sort of that watermark for us. Management companies that run at least 2 properties or more, in 2010, they were 11%. In 2023, there's now 15.3%. Overall, less supply coupled with off-course market business has placed golf course owners in a powerful position. What I mean by less supply is that since 2006, we've had more golf courses closed than open. As a result, the velocity of closures has definitely slowed down. As a matter of fact, a lot of closures right now that are happening for economic reasons that are beneficial to whoever may own the property. But we're still looking at more closures than openings. And of the openings, we're really looking at high-end resort properties that are really destination properties. Think, Bandon Dunes, properties such as that. So the supply we have, the golf courses you work at today, the golf courses that are in your section, they're going to be the supply moving forward. We're not going to be adding people playing golf every year. And now we've got this funnel of 15 million people that are getting exposed to golf, and they're playing off-course golf experiences instead of going to dinner or going bowling or going to the movies. That's what they're replacing those times with. They're not replacing green grass golf. So what does this all mean at the end of the day? It means we finally have demand, and therefore we have pricing power, whether that's in daily fee pricing or it's in membership pricing. I'm sure a lot of you have moved your rates up, but we are finally in a position where we feel strongly that we have the necessary demand and we have that pricing power. At the end of the MCOR event, they do an executive roundtable where they invite the 20 largest, I apologize, sorry, didn't get to the next one, where they invite the 20 largest management companies. So, think Troon, think Invited, think, Coursco, Touchstone, all the largest companies. 20 of us in that room. I've never been in a room that's been that optimistic ever in my time in golf. I mean, the room was very optimistic about where we are, the fact that we have this funnel of new players, the fact that the supply is probably, not going to grow, and the room was as positive as I've seen in the golf space. So let's just look at some quick stats for North Carolina. Overall, North Carolina has 517 courses, about 744,000 golfers. You play about 11.6 million rounds per year. I mean, it's a $2.6 billion economic impact, and it creates 68,000 jobs. So obviously vitally important to the industry in North Carolina. A couple of the larger metropolitan areas, and I just like to pull this data just to give everybody an idea what some of the data sets look like. The greater Charlotte market, you've got 3 million resident rounds. 22 million rounds are being played in market, which actually means you're an exporter of golf, which means your residents, people that live in this area, are playing 3 million rounds, but only 2.2 million of those rounds are being played in your geographic area. So you're exporting about 800,000 rounds outside of this area. That's not necessarily a bad thing. They're probably going to, destination areas in North Carolina, like, Hilton Head and some of those areas. But you are considered an export market. 208,000 golfers. Your participation rate's about 8%, which is pretty close to the national average. You can see the breakdown of public facilities versus privates. And overall, this is your general national rank for a metropolitan area. It's about 25 out of 381 in that greater Charlotte market that the National Golf Foundation measures. Also did the Raleigh market. You are also an export market, same participation rates, a little bit stronger. Not quite as many facilities, but nationally about the 42nd out of 381 metropolitan markets. So Raleigh and Charlotte are considered strong geographic markets from a National Golf Foundation standpoint. South Carolina, we have 647 golf courses, about half as many golfers, 10.3 million rounds played each year, $1.4 billion economic impact, which creates 31,000 jobs. So obviously still a major contributor our industry in the state of South Carolina. We looked at the greater Greenville market. Again, Greenville's also an export market. Your participation rate's about the national average. Last one we looked at was Columbia. Again, another export market. So all the major markets in North Carolina and South Carolina are considered export markets. So their residents in those markets are playing more rounds outside of those markets than the market's actually having in totality. The participation rate's a little bit lower than the national average. And overall, you're about 80 out of 381. This is just a quick snapshot, but overall, what the data is really saying is that the North Carolina and South Carolina markets are pretty strong golf markets in general. So that's a little bit about North Carolina and South Carolina. To really tell the story of what we did and what we created, I need to give you the foundation of how we made our decisions, which I'll do right now. And I'll go relatively quickly, but I want to give you the background. So Brown Golf, our company, from 2011 to 2019, outlining our technology relationships. Prior to 2016, we had traditional technology point of sale relationships, traditional marketing relationships. We relied on third-party providers to fill our tee sheets, websites like teeoff.com and golfnow.com. We traded tee times for point of sale services. So we weren't paying a fee for our point of sale service. We were trading tee times. And we really relied and trusted on the online reporting that was being provided by our third-party partners. So we were an EasyLinks point of sale client, and we had a GolfNow distribution relationship. They'd provide us with the data on, how we were doing from an online perspective. In 2016, I started to get pretty serious about analyzing our relationships and their interplay into our profitability. What I did is I signed 2 3-year agreements that ran concurrently, one with EasyLinks for point of sale services, one with GolfNow for distribution, so listing tee times on golfnow.com. I was uncomfortable with trading tee times for services, third parties collecting my customer data, third parties marketing their interest to my customers, third parties owning my lowest rate through rate parity language in the GolfNow agreements. But despite every red flag, I pushed through because that was just how the golf business operated, and we felt like we needed the eyeballs that network provided. I made a commitment to myself during that time frame that the next time I signed an agreement for point of sale services and or distribution services, I would be comfortable. In 2017, everything changed. And if there's one set of numbers that you want to pay attention to, it's this set. What we realized is in 2017, we had 111,000 rounds that came through GolfNow aggregate distribution's website and or GolfNow booking engines that resided on our course websites. Of those 111,000 rounds, 67,000 rounds were paid rounds, and 44,000 of those rounds were traded rounds, which means basically 40% of our total rounds via GolfNow portals were non-generating revenue rounds. Okay, so 40% of the rounds that we received, we didn't receive any income for. Of the 67,000 rounds that we did receive income for, 90% of those rounds were populated into what we considered premium tee time slots, or slots that we would have filled by ourselves because they were premium tee times. So I really asked myself one question: when I give any third-party wholesaler a 40% discount to book tee times at my courses, especially if the remaining tee times they sent me only populated in the areas of my tee sheet I know I could fill? And the obvious answer is no, I wouldn't do that, but I was doing that. Ultimately, that led me to understanding a business theory called competitive displacement, which competitive displacement is the positioning of a third-party vendor to make your customer their customer over time. They have access to your product, access to collect your customer data, access to own your lowest price, the ability to market their own interests. Does that sound familiar to anybody? By entering into these agreements, I was creating my own competitive displacement. And after dozens of surveys, reviewing our data, analyzing our club's brands, it became evident to me that I needed to control my inventory access point, which was the online booking engine. This led me to my non-negotiables. If you don't do anything else, try to take these principles with you the rest of your life. They're the right principles for the industry. A golf club needs to own and control its lowest price. A golf club needs to own and control its customer data. A golf club needs to own and control its marketing relationship with the customer. A golf club needs to retain 100% of online green and cart fee revenue. We're in a world where every year more and more people are booking tee times online. You need to be in the position that you're retaining 100% of those green and cart fee revenues. Those became my non-negotiables for myself moving forward at the end of 2019. Ultimately, what I realized, the only way to protect those 4 principles was to own and operate the online booking engine. So we built our own proprietary online booking engine. We built it with a bunch of bells and whistles that we liked as T-sheet management folks: yield management, dynamic pricing, weather algorithms, automated promo codes, instant reward. So built in email and CRM tools. So we built customer profiles, and then we automated marketing to those customers, and we built our own customized websites. This platform became GolfBack, what we named GolfBack, and what's in the marketplace now. Well, what does GolfBack need to operate? Well, we need to be able to integrate into a point of sale systems. So we needed companies' point of sale. Lightspeed, Club Caddy, and 4Up, who were open to integrations. Shocker, EasyLinks wasn't, Club Profits wasn't, GolfNow wasn't, and anybody who limits integration basically limits your ability to work with technology providers that you might see upside with. As we sit today, about 100 golf courses we work with are using this platform. Quickly, some of the features: automated data collection. When you own the booking engine that's on your website, you can only book tee times that are on your website. You become a data machine. When you collect all of that data, you can easily build automated marketing programs. We have demand and weather-based dynamic pricing, so pricing in real time, so we're optimizing revenues. When your tee times are only listed on your website, what ends up happening to your traffic on your website? It skyrockets, which helps your search engine optimization results. Oops, sorry, apologize. Really, Brown Golf and Great Life impacts once we moved to protecting these principles and built technology out around protecting these principles, where we drove our customers direct to a club's website. The club became a data machine, only listed tee times on our website, automated data collection, automated remarketing. We became a revenue optimization machine. Tee times were only priced in real time based off real results. We boosted our search engine results and online presence and website traffic. We allowed clubs to deliver great customer value on club terms. So you can build things like daily steals, automated promo codes, rewards to your customers, but you can do it on your terms and then push them out to your customers. Ultimately, this is the biggest thing it did. It took back all that traded tee time inventory, those 44,000 rounds we traded, repopulated those back down into our clubs, and we sold those. Shocker, we made money on those times and obviously benefited greatly. It allows more competitive pricing on a cash-based point of sale system. If you're trading tee times for your point of sale displacement of your customer. Ultimately, this only works if it's automated and integrated into your point of sale systems. They have to speak to each other. Our system does. At the end of the day, it only works with great cloud-based partners. But that's what we built. We built that. We installed it at Brown Golf, and it was obviously a great move for us. We received all of our traded tee times back. We collected all of our customers' data. We built our marketing pass. We priced our inventory in real time, and it changed the dynamic of our company. Here's a case study for leaving GolfNow. Everybody's so afraid to leave GolfNow. I mean, it was the easiest decision in the world after the fact. You feel like you get access to a bunch of eyeballs from GolfNow, but the truth of the matter is customers are smart, they're intelligent, they're going to find the best deal. They think brand first in golf. They think about your course. They generally know the courses in a market they're traveling to or in the market they live. And once you repopulate your inventory into the channels you control, it's amazing what happens to your profit. And these are just some of the results when we switched off of GolfNow, which I'm tight on time, so I won't bore you too much with that. All right, now we're going to interrelate this back to some private club strategies and public course strategies. Overall, what this is all about is building a data revenue and marketing and branding machine. In technology, let me get these all up first. Your infrastructure, your POS, Profit, Club Essentials, Jonas, Easy Links, NBC Sports Next, which is Golf Now, Lightspeed, Club Caddy 4, Pen 4. You can go on and on about point of sale systems. They all have a little bit different functionality. So I would challenge anyone that is looking at your infrastructure and considering new point of sale systems, write down what's important to you before you go and talk to the point of sale companies. I think that's a good way to kind of diagnose what might be the right infrastructure for you. Understand pricing and contracts, understand your cash pricing, understand if you are trading tee times, what the real effective price is. Understand integration philosophy. Is your point of sale company limiting who you can work with? Ask them if they have an open integration platform or philosophy. If the answer is yes, they're probably a company I'd look for or look at. If the answer is no, you might want to be careful on jumping into that relationship. Understand the difference between server and cloud-based. Cloud-based systems are internet-based systems, so you can log in from any spot on the internet from your home to get in your point of sale system. Where server-based, you have to be on site. Server-based are kind of dinosaurs. There's still a couple point of sale systems that are server-based, but cloud-based is definitely the trend, and it helps with integrations. And then just in general, if you're a private club or you're a public golf course, some of the tools of your point of sale system, you might have a different viewpoint, right? So an online booking engine, if you're a private club, you're going to be considering the member experience, allowing members to see who they can see other players on the tee sheet so they compare. That might be what you're looking for. If you're a public golf course, you might be looking for revenue optimization. Same tools, but really different strategy and philosophies. Tournament software, private clubs, you might be looking at member tournament functionality. Public golf courses, you might be more focused on outing or league functionality. CRM tools, which is customer relationship management tools. Private clubs, you're going to be looking for lead generation tools for new member prospects and building your members' profiles, so you know exactly what your members are using at the club. Public golf course, same thing. You'll be looking for lead generation, but more for new players and rounds. And you're building customer profiles for public players so you can figure out how to target market. If you're a private club, these might be some of the tools you're considering. If you're a public golf course, these might be some of the tools you're considering. This is the infrastructure, and it's really important to understand the tools and how they interplay and interface. Ultimately, whether you're a public golf course or you're a private golf course, the idea of building a culture that drives your customers direct is really important. So public golf course, if you list your inventory on your course website, you're going to drive customers direct. Eliminate barter, automate data collection, a bunch of areas I've already talked about. If you're a private golf course, you might want to look at advanced direct mailers based on geographic parameters and demographic parameters to really focus on promoting your private club. Don't just rely on member referrals. When I was a membership director, the easiest way to get a membership referral was by a brand new member that just joined the club within 60 days. They want to justify, the purchase they just made, and they want to invite their friends. I would always target a brand new member, and ask them for 3 or 4 leads of folks that might have an interest in the club. You definitely need to automate the sales process by having a lead gen. I'll show you that in a minute. But if someone has a membership interest, that fills into an automated lead gen pipeline where your membership director, your GM, or your head pro is constantly following up. And we're building prospect automated drip campaigns based off those folks' interest and the information we are acquiring. Modernized websites. So lead gens are all part of built out modernized websites. A lot of the point of sale companies offer lead generation tools. If yours does not, it's probably something I would look at. Really, this is how you build your sales pipeline. We'll talk about content creation, keywords. Here's a look at one of the pipelines at one of our facilities as we're just working golf courses through our sales process. Sorry, I call the give me one sec, apologize. That's really building your online presence. Building customer profiles. This will be the future of automated marketing is learning about your customer and how you're going to build profiles around your customer. So here's just an example of how we're doing it at our public golf courses. We send an email to a player after a round with an opportunity to fill out a short survey about their golf experience for a 10% off promo code that is good for 30 days. Okay, that's kind of the tool to try to get them to fill the profile out. We have an experience survey, which really asking about their experience, which obviously helps us understand if we're promoting and offering the experience we'd like to. But this is really what we're doing. We're building out profiles through a survey. So these are an example list of questions we're asking. We're trying to figure out if the customer is interested in a great price or convenience of time, a time they want to play. So maybe not quite as price sensitive. Are they willing to be paired? Do they prefer to play in groups of 2 or less or 3 or more? Do they have interest in practice facilities? Would they be interested in multiple rounds passes? Do they want travel golf information? What's their ball preference? What's their club preference? We're asking all of these questions for one reason, so we can build automated marketing paths in the future based off the information we're receiving. You can do the same thing at a private club, learning about a member's guest or learning about a member themselves so that you can really build effective automated marketing paths in the future. Marketing automation, this is how you're really targeting your customer market, right? Here's how we do it. We've got experience automated marketing. We send a welcome to each golfer before they arrive at our club. You can do this whether you're a public or private course. We really give them the lay of the land, what they'll do when they arrive on property. It's also the first line of defense to no-shows. We survey the customer experience and ask the profile questions post-round. That's an example of an experience campaign that we're building. We have profitability campaigns. We drive empty foursomes. So for instance, if we have a full tee sheet up till 1:30 on a Saturday, we'll actually reach in and say, any foursome that isn't filled, we have a twosome or threesome, let's go ahead and get a wouldn't mind being paired with somebody, right? That's all automated. And we send them out the 10% promo code and hopefully fill the foursome. We call that a profitability campaign. We send an email to golfers 24 hours in advance confirming player counts for groups. Really important, whether you're a public course or private course. How many times do we have 16, 20, 24 players and they show up with 21, 18, 17? Really trying to understand how many players are going to be on property. Re-engagement. Hey, notify the customer to rebook the same tee time after the round for next week. Or, hey, we haven't seen you for 90 days. We'd like to invite you back. Loyalty campaigns. Thanks for playing our golf course. You've been here 5 times, 10 times. Maybe we offer them a promo code to opt into a ball and glove monthly program at the club. You can do this whether you're a public course or your private course. And then here's an example of admin functionality. This is notifications back to organize and optimize your tee sheet. So these can go back to GMs or head golf professionals or assistant golf professionals. Maybe you have back-to-back twosomes, will notify the operator. Maybe you have a single player next to a threesome, will notify the operator. If there's a 2-hour period with 75% or more of the utilized tee times, we'll generate a notification to the manager to consider squeeze times, confirming player counts, confirming groups, so you can optimize those windows. If the first 2 tee times of the day are booked, we'll generate a notification to potentially open earlier tee times for sale, maybe 1 or 2 right at the beginning of the day. And we do all of this through automation. So experience, profitability, re-engagement, loyalty, admin, marketing campaigns. One of the big things, our open rate at GolfBack's about 51%. It's about 22% on emails, just standard in the industry, but we get a much higher open rate just because of the way we're target marketing. We're giving information to people that are looking for it and we know their interest. I won't hit on these other things right now. Here's an example of an automated marketing path. This is all in our email CRM tool, basically setting up specific campaigns that target certain criteria. So when you set up a marketing path, really what you're doing is you're building out the path and the profile information you want, and based off a customer inside your CRM tool and the profile information they have, if they are a person that we think will meet that criteria, the automated marketing goes directly out to them. So this is an example of a path. Here's a private club path that we're doing for a member that fills out a lead gen. we wait a couple days, and if we know they have kids, we might promote to them some of the kids events at the club. If we know they're adults, maybe we promote wine dinners. If we know they have a golf interest, maybe the men's and ladies golf association league information. And this is all automated, and it's all set in motion by them filling out lead gen on the website. Content development, the next big key. We have course images, drone footage, clubhouse amenities, lodging, tours, instructional videos, feature holes played with a head professional. All of this information is part of building your content machine, which can be part of your re-engagement of your customers. Our Great Life Golf YouTube page has a lot of this information. But what do you think is the most viewed video every time we do it? Just think in your head what the most viewed video is every time we do it. It's this Hole with the Pro. It's by far and away. Every time we do a Hole with the Pro, you know, go out at a golf hole, pick your signature hole, talk. You can build automated campaigns. And I mean, this is Dale, who's our general manager. I won't show the video, but he got 1,800 views in 24 hours of posting a video of him playing a golf hole. Here's an example of what our marketing playbooks look like. So it's kind of the final piece of the machine. The goal is a 4-to-1 messaging. 4 times we provide value or information we think the customer might want. 1 time we might have a quantifiable ask, or we'll call it a sales tactic. We build these campaigns, and here's just a look at our playbook on the back end. We build them around, this is a playoff MTV cribs, but Great Life cribs, instruction, people, customers, golf course information, images. Great Life Kids is our charity arm. And we send out a marketing playbook campaign sort of every other week. And this is a look at what our campaigns look like every other week. And we build it once, set it for the year, and now we've got a content presence with our customer database that we've been building. So that gives you an idea of our marketing playbook. In general, that's how you build the machine. You need content, you need to automate the process for marketing, you need to collect data, and you need to box out third parties from controlling those important components of your system, which is owning your data, owning your lowest price, being the direct marketer to your customer. Ultimately, once you do that, you can build out a heck of a machine. If anybody hasn't used Chat GPT, I'm going to show this very quickly. This is a lifesaver as far as if you want to build a communication to your members very quickly. I'll share this. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to stop presenting there. I'm going to share this quickly here. This is an app. It's also web-based. It's free, but I'm going to give you at your golf club and a dues increase as a result, right? You can type it into the Chat GPT. Forgot to include write a letter to my members. All right, here you go. This is AI, and it's going to write this letter for you. Apologize. All right, this tool is writing the letter for you, right? And you can take the data from the letter, drop it into a Word document, customize reason. You can quickly navigate through this AI tool, and it's a wonderful tool. We use it all the time at Great Life Golf. So as an example, I'll go back into my presentation here. So whether you want to do it, write a letter about capital improvements and a dues increase, you want to write a letter about bringing alcohol on the golf course and the limitations around wanting your members to do that, a letter about the dress code, any communication you want to put into that chat, GPT can quickly produce a letter that you can then customize. Great tool, saves a ton of time. I'm going fast now. I'm going to skip this slide, but if anybody has an interest in this, I'm happy to talk to you about it. This is basically how we value golf courses in the open market, and I think it's an important tool for understanding the key business matrices that can assist in making your golf course profitable. Some of the key business indicators are all listed here. I don't have time to go through this today, but this gives you an example of how this would go all the way through. But these are the three ideas I wanted to leave everybody with. If you're not taking advantage of the early order process, you need to. But the one thing Great Life Golf has done is we actually buy all of our early order process or chemical and fertilizers in one account for our 56 golf courses, which allows us to both maximize volume discounts and pricing at the distributor level, but also at the manufacturer level. So anybody that actually wanted to go through this process and wanted to be a part of our early order process, you could be. But even if you just do it on your own, it's the one area that if you're not ordering 85 to 90% of your chemical and fert during the early order process, you're costing yourselves money, and it should be part of your budgeting process. We've committed to it, and now we're seeing better pricing with manufacturers and distributors and stronger rebates with manufacturers and distributors. So your early order process is number one. If you haven't instituted a credit card surcharge, it's just do it. I mean, we did it. You hear about it for 2 weeks. You'll eliminate an expense line in your club that's $30,000 to $60,000, and it's becoming standard practice at most businesses outside golf. Golf still has been slow to adopt it. We've adopted it. A lot of the large management companies have adopted it. It's a no-brainer. I know Club Caddy can do it. I know Lightspeed can do it. A lot of the point-of-sale providers can institute a credit card surcharge. Now, listen, I don't want anyone to have to pay a credit card surcharge. So they pay cash, they pay check, they pay with debit card, they set up ACH. They won't be hit with this fee, but if they're going to use a credit card, we do charge a credit card fee. And the last thing is, if you're ever looking at cart fleets, the traditional way to buy carts in the space is to rent a fleet under an operating lease and then potentially roll it early, a year or 2 years early. And really all you're doing when you're in an operating lease is you're giving either the cart manufacturer, the cart company, or your local distributor the opportunity to control the back end of that cart and make some money. What we do is we actually buy our carts under capital leases. We set a back end balloon payment at about $2,000 per cart. This allows us to keep the payments in line with what an operating lease would be. We have an option to exercise that $2,000 balloon payment at the conclusion of the lease, which we can then obviously own those carts outright. We're flipping these carts that we're enacting this $2,000 balloon for about $3,000 to $3,500 on the secondary market. So yes, there's some logistics here, but if you have a cart of 100, if you have a fleet of 100 carts, it's worth $100,000 to $150,000 to buy them under a capital lease and figure out how to flip them in the secondary market. Provides a ton of flexibility to keep carts or sell in the open market. So this idea of operating leases and rolling early, and that is all in the benefit of the cart companies or the local distributors. Controlling the back end where you really pick up some dollars. So those are three areas to think about, for impacting your profitability. And that was a lot of talking. My two websites, our two company websites are greatlifegolf.com and golfbacksolutions.com. If you have an interest in any of those areas that we're doing in Great Life from a profitability standpoint, I'm happy. I'll make myself available. My email address is pretty simple. It's jbrown@greatlifegolf.com. But really, if you're looking at building a data marketing and branding machine, or if you haven't thought about it and you're just starting the steps to move in that direction, it's where the future's headed. You need to know who your customer is. You need to know as much as you can about your customer. You need to automate your processes for marketing to that customer. Take that responsibility out of your site level employees so that they can actually be there. They can actually elevate the experience, interact with your members and guests, and build those marketing machines so you can get the impact without putting that responsibility at a site level employee. So if you have any questions about that, happy to answer. It was great speaking with everyone today. And I know that was a lot of information in a short amount of time. But my goal is to leave the industry in a better place than, when I entered it. And I think staying tight to those key foundations of owning your data, owning your relationship with your customer, owning your lowest price. Anyone who does that in any direction is making their business better in golf. So that's all I got.
Hey, John, I got one quick question for you. If any of our members out there want to use GolfBack, what is that process? And can you provide any pricing information or just any additional information there?
Yeah, the tool, the online booking engines is free to use. The way GolfBack's economics works is we charge a convenience fee, a booking fee to the golfer itself. So that is $1 to $1.25 based off the services that are selected. But that gets you the online booking engine, the email customer relationship management tool, and the customized websites. And then we integrate with 3 different point of sale companies, which are Lightspeed, 4Up, and Club Caddy. So you would have to have one of those cloud-based point of sale systems to use the tool. But we also do have features with GolfBack, and I haven't quite rolled it out, but of putting online booking engines on private courses and building pipelines for prospect member rounds, where a private club can charge, essentially an unaccompanied guest rate to come out and experience the private club, and then create a membership lead as a result. So that's also a tool that has some functionality of private clubs. So there's a lot that can be done with it.
Yeah, it sounds incredibly versatile. It sounds like it's kind of a one-stop shop, which seems pretty simple and efficient for everyone out there. Any other questions from the group for John? Billy, any questions?
Just thank you, John. Thanks for taking the time to do this for us. We appreciate it.
Here we go. We got one question here. Hopefully you can see that. What areas do you think AI will positively impact the golf industry?
It's happening. It's in the process. All the point of sale companies are thinking about it. The T-sheet optimization companies are thinking about it. We are in the process in Q4 here of developmental work on our back end using AI as well to more intelligently price our tee time inventory, to more intelligently market. The more data that we receive about our customers, whether you're a public course or a private course, the more successful you can be in using AI to automate both the experience and obviously optimizing your revenue. It's absolutely going to be a part of the industry moving forward. And I think it's going to take a lot of the headaches of trying to map out a marketing solution for us out of the equation. I think there will be one-stop shops when it comes to that in the future. So it's a great question. It's happening. I mean, I know we are at GolfBack, we are definitely working on that now.
Hey, Jim Hoff, to answer your question there about the PDR credits, I did just post that link again in the chat. So that'll just ask for your first and last name as well as your PGID number there. If you could click on that link and enter your information, we'll get you the credits there. Yeah, the AI stuff in general is pretty fascinating. I think there's so many avenues that it could be helpful for. But I love your use there of just writing a kind of maybe a tough email or letter to send out to the membership. Kind of does all the heavy lifting for you there.
Yeah, that's one way it starts, right? And obviously that's a communication tool. I mean, eventually there'll be the way customers book tee times is going to be interfaced into, experience on the cart that's customized to who they are, right? So, what they drink, what they eat, guests they bring, the balls they play, right? And that'll go all the way through the playing experience till the end, and probably automating the check-in process. There's just so much to it, and there's a lot of neat stuff coming down the pipeline for sure.
All right. Well, with that, we'll wrap it up. John, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate you being here with us today. Some very valuable data and metrics and just kind of a big picture perspective. So really appreciate all that. And again, Billy, thank you for setting this up. And I'll send out John's email to everyone. So if you have any follow-up questions for him, please feel free to do that, or you can always reach out to me as well. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you, John.